In this video, I'm going to go over how to go about making the flat box structure. So what I did was I downloaded my example of the flat box from the Create folder, and I just dragged that file onto a Illustrator document. This is tabloid size, so it's 11 by 14. That's just because that is required. That size document is required for the size of the box that it actually is. Okay, so I'm going to go into layers and I'm going to turn this into a template layer that dims it, which makes it easier to work on top of it. And then I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, and I'm going to use the rectangle tool, and I certainly don't want to fill. Okay, now a number of these panels are going to repeat with being the same size. So anytime you can, make a shape or whatever one time and then just copy it, you want to do that. And then also when you're doing that, you want to make sure that with the copy that it's lining up vertically. So I'm going to hold down my shift key. So when I make a copy, I hold down my option key. See, my cursor is double, which is telling me I'm making a copy. And then I'm going to go to this panel here. There we go. All right, this is the top of the box. This is the bottom of the box. Next, and then actually what I could do, I already have the width. So then I'm gonna make another copy, and I just held down my shift key, and now I'm going to just increase the height. Now this is the back of the box, and so obviously the front of the box would be the same size. So I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of that. Hold down my shift key. I'm using my trackpad, so I should be using a mouse. It'd be a heck of a lot easier. All right. That didn't line up. There's some distortion going on here. How interesting. So these two are not lined up on that fold. So that means, oh, yeah, so you want to do what I'm doing in that you zoom in just to see how things are going. And so these boxes, these rectangles, they're not just side by side, but they're actually overlapping. You want to make sure that you're doing that. All right, so I need to do some tweaking here. Where these boxes overlap, that's actually a fold. There, I think that's pretty good now, except for the bottom one. Yeah, I think there's some distortion, but it makes sense that the top and the bottom are the same size, the back and the front. And then you can see on this particular box, some of the panels, the elements are rotated. So depending upon your box style, you may have to rotate the the elements to be facing the right direction, okay? All right, so then I'm going to use a rectangle here, and then I need to zoom in. So these intersections need to line up because that's where a fold is. I'm going to take my direct select and just bring that down. Now I don't think it's necessary for this to have this little notch. So I'm going to um, bring this tab it's going to meet in this intersection here. Then do the same thing here. Zoom out. And then there's 4 of these. So then I would just, make 3 more. I would have to flip it to be on the right side of the box, so you can kind of see what's going on here. And then I would make another rectangle here. Need to zoom in a little bit. Then I need to see what's going on with this intersection. There we go. See how these all have to line up? That one looks all right. Then come over here. And so I think, so we're seeing a little bit of a discrepancy here between my line and the template. I think it's just distortion when I scanned this box. I actually took the box apart, flattened it, and scanned it. So I think that's what we're seeing there. And then with this panel, I mean, I could use the rectangle tool, as you see here, and then just add anchor points. There are some rounded corners. Or I could use the pen tool. So whatever you want to do, okay? So I'm going to use the convert tool, which I like. Now they don't call it that. It's the upside down V. It's the anchor point tool. So that will take a square anchor point, which we're seeing right here, and convert it to a smooth, which means that it'll allow you to make a curve. Okay, so I'm going to get out of that. Go back to my direct select. And then you know that if you, actually I think I'm going to put the anchor point before it goes into the curve. I think that'll be better. And then I'm going to hold down my option key to break the teeter-totter. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so I would make a copy of that and use that on the right side. So you can kind of see my method here. And then I do have a PDF file. Just wanted to show some things. Whoops, wrong way. So the reason why I create the flatbox structure with individual panels is because if you look at different tee boxes, you'll see that there's a color shift from panel to panel. So in the top example here, white front, side is green. You can see the same thing kind of going on here with this next one. So there's an image, and then on the left side we have that blue. Same thing's going on here. So by doing each panel separately, it will allow you to create contrast from panel to panel. All right, I hope this is helpful. If not, if you have any questions, please email me or text me.